Director Gabbard, last year you testified that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon. Do you stand by that statement? Yes or no?
Context matters with that statement.
Yes or no?
Iran had all of the materials and capabilities to do so.
Mr. Chairman, I reclaim my time. It's an easy answer. You either stand by what you said last year or not.
It is a serious question that requires the totality
Director
of the
Gabbard, I
information
reclaim my
available.
time. I reclaim my time.
There is a question being asked in this hearing that is bigger than most people realize. America is currently in an active war with Iran. Bombs have been dropped. A foreign supreme leader is dead. Oil prices surged past $100 a barrel. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical shipping routes on the entire planet, was at risk of closure. And all of this started with a justification that one specific piece of intelligence would either support or destroy. The justification was this: Iran posed an imminent nuclear threat to the United States. Trump said they were 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. He said if he had not acted within 2 weeks, Iran would have had a bomb. That was the reason given to the American people for going to war. But here is what you need to know before you watch this. The person sitting in front of this congressman is Tulsi Gabbard. She is the director of national intelligence. That means she is the one person in the entire United States government whose literal job is to tell the president and Congress what the intelligence actually says. Not what anyone wants to hear, what the evidence actually shows. And months before this war started, she testified to Congress under oath that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon, that the supreme leader had not authorized a nuclear weapons program. That was her official assessment, representing all 18 intelligence agencies in the United States combined. Then Trump said he did not care what she said. Then the bombs fell anyway. Then she came back to Congress and tried to explain herself. And this congressman has a very simple question for her. Were they weeks away or not? Watch what happens when she tries to answer.
Make sure that all members have had an opportunity to vote because they are prepared to close that vote on the floor. If you haven't, please go do so at this time. Looks like we're good. All right, Mr. Gomez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to get right into it. Director Gabbard, last year you testified that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon. Do you stand by that statement? Yes or no?
Context matters with that statement.
Yes or no?
Iran had all of the
reclaim my
materials
time.
and
I reclaim my
capabilities
time.
to do so.
Mr. Chairman, I reclaim my time. It's an easy answer. You either stand by what you said last year or not.
It is a serious question that requires the totality
Director
of the
Gabbard, I
information
reclaim my
available.
time. I reclaim my time. When President Trump was asked about your testimony, he said you were wrong. Were you lying or not?
I stand by the intelligence community's
With that,
complete assessment.
Director Ratcliffe, when it came to the director's testimony, she said that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon last spring in Congress, and said the supreme leader has not authorized the nuclear weapons program. Do you agree with what she said or not? Yes or no?
The director's right here. She can speak for herself.
Oh, so I thought this was an intelligence community briefing. Let's move on. Trump also said he didn't care what you thought or said. Should he care about what you have to say when it comes to intelligence?
I continue to provide the president with the intelligence community's assessments on all matters.
So let me just kind of get this straight. The department, you said that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon last year. President Trump said he didn't care what you thought, and you were wrong. They engaged in Operation Midnight Hammer. He then says it was obliterated. We hear later reports that in open source reporting that it was only set back by a few months. Then at the beginning of this war, he said that they were weeks away. I just want to kind of get a sense of, were they weeks away of achieving a nuclear weapon? Yes or no?
Congressman, this is a serious matter, and you've made some very serious mischaracterizations
yes
here.
Yes or no? Were they weeks away?
Yes or no? It would be a disservice to you and the American people to answer this question with a mere yes or no.
Reclaiming my time. Were they weeks away or not? The American people need to know if this was an imminent threat or not, if they're weeks away or not, if they're months away or not. None of this dodging. Were they an imminent threat? Yesterday, you said that only the president, only the only person who can determine what is an imminent threat is the president of the United States. Do you stand by that statement?
Yes, I do.
Director Ratcliffe, do you agree with that assessment? That the president is the only person that can determine if something is an imminent threat or not?
The president's commander-in-chief gets to make a decision about what's an imminent threat. The intelligence community, well, the intelligence...
Reclaim my time.
The intelligence...
Reclaim my time.
Intelligence community has provided a body of intelligence
my time.
that supports
the reason why
the decision
is that if the
that
president can
made.
determine and ignore what you're doing, why do you guys even have a job? Why do you even advise them? So you're saying tomorrow the president of the United States can say China is an imminent threat, and then he can take his own... No matter what the intelligence says, he can take his own action. So that's what you're basically saying. Okay, let's go on. Director Gabbard, you said that North Korea has intercontinental ballistic missiles that can reach the homeland. Yet, the Defense Department said that Iran was at least 10 years away from achieving an intercontinental ballistic missile that can reach the homeland. Which one is a more serious threat, North Korea or Iran?
These threats are taken within the context of the total body of intelligence reporting.
So that's it should be, and that's my point. It's not just about having the capability of building a weapon. It's if they can actually deliver that weapon, if they can, they have the intention of doing that. How many weeks away are they? We haven't heard that there were weeks away. We haven't heard that there were months away. But that's what we're waiting for. Imminent, to me, means is that they're mobilizing troops. They're moving things into position, artillery. They're getting ready to attack. But everything that we've heard is that this is not the case.
Gentleman's time's expired. Mr. Klein.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here and for the work you do. It's a marvel that just 1 year of strong leadership from the White House has shifted the conversation in this room from that of appeasement and passivity from the Biden administration to that of American strength brought about by the doctrine in Venezuela and Operation Epic Fury in Iran. And it's not lost on me that as we sit here...
So here is what you just watched, and here is why it matters far beyond this one hearing room. The congressman laid out a timeline that is impossible to argue with. Gabbard testified that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon. Trump publicly said he did not care what she thought and that she was wrong. Then the United States launched Operation Midnight Hammer in June 2025, striking Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Then Trump said Iran's nuclear program was obliterated. Then just months later, in February 2026, Trump said Iran was 2 weeks away from a nuclear bomb and launched an entirely new war, Operation Epic Fury. Think about that sequence for a second. If the nuclear program was obliterated in June 2025, how was Iran 2 weeks away from a bomb in February 2026? That is the question at the center of all of this. And the intelligence community's own answer, the answer Gabbard submitted in her written testimony to this very hearing, was that Iran had not made significant efforts to rebuild its nuclear program after the June strikes. The entrances to the bombed facilities had been sealed with cement. But here is the part that tells you everything. Gabbard submitted that assessment in writing. She then stood up at the hearing and did not read that part out loud. She skipped it. Senator Mark Warner caught her immediately and asked why. She said she ran out of time. No one believed it. Because the section she skipped was the only section that directly contradicted what the president had told the American people to justify going back to war. Her own top deputy, Joe Kent, the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, resigned in protest the day before this hearing. His resignation letter said Iran posed no imminent threat to the United States and that the war went against everything the Trump administration had claimed to stand for. And then Gabbard said something in this hearing that should stop every American in their tracks. When asked who gets to decide what counts as an imminent threat, she said the president is the only person who can make that determination, not the intelligence community, not Congress, not the evidence, the president alone. The congressman immediately caught what that means. He asked it out loud. If the president can ignore what the intelligence says and decide on his own what is an imminent threat, then why does the intelligence community exist at all? Why does Gabbard have a job? Why does any of the apparatus of American intelligence exist if the person at the top of it is willing to say that the president's personal judgment overrides the actual intelligence? That is not a rhetorical question. That is a structural problem. Because the entire reason America built this intelligence system after the disasters of Iraq, after the weapons of mass destruction that were not there, was so that no single person could take the country to war based on a claim that the evidence did not support. And here we are again. A war was started. The intelligence did not support the specific justification given. The person whose job it is to tell the truth about the intelligence skipped the part of her testimony that proved it. And when asked a direct question under oath, she said the president is the only one who decides what is real. According to multiple reports, not a single intelligence agency issued a formal assessment finding that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States before Operation Epic Fury began. Not one. The congressman asked the right question. Why do you even have a job? And the answer she gave is the most honest thing she said all day. Because she does not really, not in any meaningful sense, not when the job requires telling the truth and the truth is not welcome. This is why oversight hearings matter. This is why Congress matters. And this is why the question of who decides to go to war and on what evidence is not a political debate. It is the most serious question a democracy can ask. If this kind of accountability coverage matters to you, subscribe and stay with us. This story is still unfolding, and there is a lot more to follow.